Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome, and it's time for a second stint here, 4 more games as far as we are concerned here for the International 2018 Qualifiers for the CIS region. My name is dragondrop. I'm joined by Ryuu. Ryuu, how are you doing?
Good. I'm good. That was a long break. Kind of tired now, but hopefully pick up the pace or pick up the steam.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than some good CS Dota to get the adrenaline pumping for players, fans, and casters alike. So, and this game might be no different depending on whether Vega Squadron have actually caught themselves. These guys sitting at 0 and 3. If they don't start winning soon, then they can kiss their hopes and dreams of making it to TI goodbye. Seeing how every other team has at least 1 point on the board already. Reminder: only the top 4 teams of the group make it through. There's a bunch of teams that only secure 2 points, and FlyToMoon is one of them. 2-1 is their own record, only dropped the 1 game up against Double Dimensions so far. So if they can secure this win against Vega, which looking at their shape right now might seem likely, then well, they can certainly move up there in these echelons. Important games already, even here at not even quite there at the conclusion of game number 1. Oh, day number 1, I should say. In any case, Vega Squadron, well, at least they start out the draft right with the TI8 Bounty Hunter.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's kind of been an interesting
5
day. I think
seconds remaining.
best of ones. I've not always been a big fan of them because a lot of times I feel like the first pick has kind of been a bit broken. So if they do have first pick here, hopefully they can take advantage of that. So we'll see how they draft around that. Obviously, their last pick, Venge, didn't work out in the previous game that we casted them. So hopefully they'll have a more rounded lineup now so they have a chance to win. Let's see,
10
Lycan
seconds
paired
remaining.
with what?
5 seconds
That's a
remaining.
good question. They run it before. They have run it in their game against Double Dimension together with Naga. First phase pick, but that's a game that they lost, so maybe they want to do something a little bit different. And like in
Bane, but I think Bane's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other really strong heroes. Warlock is another one, but
Wind Ranger
yeah,
at your
Wind Ranger.
service.
I mean, Lycan doesn't even really need combos. Not so much. It's not as much as you need a team that enables them to push in one way or another, right?
You just need a strong laning support early on, which Wind Ranger seems to fit the bill for everyone now. Wind Run broken.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
How do you hit?
10 seconds
How do you
remaining.
hit her?
You get an MKB, rush that straight at
5
minute 2,
seconds
and then
remaining.
you'll be absolutely fine.
I just go E-Blade Dagon 5.
Yeah, that also works. Would be very funny if the bounty hunter got enough money to actually go for that. E-Blade, Dagon, big old shirt toss. Probably not though.
Hey man, if this continues and Vega's eliminated, they might start playing like some pub games.
Yeah. Well, gotta have to do something to pass the time. Like there's no butting out early here. You can't just GG out of your obligations. Gotta play till the very end. But for now, they still have a shot, but they need to start winning. So again, Bounty Hunter, the first time they've drafted that in this particular qualifier. Now with the Witch Doctor, pretty decent support. Good 5 position here. You can help sustain yourself in your core and lane. And depending on the situation, you can set up for some good kills. But you'd need someone with some hefty nukes and killing power already out of your safe lane in 1 position.
10 seconds remaining. 5
Witch
seconds
Doctor. I
remaining.
haven't seen this here in a long time. It's a good hero against the
Radiant
Lycan's
team
minions
back.
and summons. Good against Lycan too if you can get the malediction on him. It kind of forces them to run away. But overall, I would say FlyToMoon have a better draft right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how it advances.
Dire
I
team
mean,
back.
Vega, they still need some sort of way to deal with the Lycan out of their cores, because both of these supports don't really have reliable lockdown. Even Witch Doctor, sure, you can maledict him, but if Lycan is strong enough, that doesn't really make him run away if he can just chop you to pieces first. So
Yeah,
he needs something better.
Personally, I think Lycan's best role right
10
now is in the
seconds
mid lane.
remaining.
And then
5
you
seconds
kind of want to
remaining.
use Lycan as that DK. You're just pushing towers and stuff and whatnot.
Radiant
And
team
then
ban.
it's better to have him get some levels, and then he can get the early HOTD push once around the 5-minute mark with that wagon, potentially get towers, and then have that Night Stalker was a really good ban, and then FlyToMoon, they just want to kind of pressure around the map, give vision. So let's see, Night Stalker, Beastmaster,
10
bans.
seconds remaining.
Their vision heroes.
I just
there's
ban
many
out.
left.
Just ban out the
seconds
Bloodseeker
remaining.
right now.
Yeah, I think Bloodseeker is a good hero for both teams. Really good against Lycan.
Yeah, because it's like an end Windrunner for that matter. So just throwing out a Rupture, they can't really make the best use out of that escape utility. AKA, they can't just run away. So that's exactly kind of call that they would need. So FlyToMoon, they could have picked it up themselves if they really wanted to, which is maybe why they took a little bit longer to actually decide to ban it out now. But well, makes a lot of sense. So then, I mean, what else would you pick up?
Probably pick a
10
support
seconds
now. I'm
remaining.
just trying to think of what route they want to go for.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, Warlock is actually still in the
Dire
pool
team
somehow.
pick.
Want to go for that, but a little bit more aggressive now from the Clockwork. Should be the offlane role here, unless they want to mix it up a little bit. Run some sort of aggro lane here with the Windrunner. Clockwork is a safe lane or safe lane support even. Yeah, there's enough flexibility in that pick still, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
They can just put, they can even put Wind Ranger mid and
5
Clock
seconds
dual
remaining.
offlane. They can do so many things that it just depends on Vega what they pick right now. Where then FlyToMoon, they're gonna decide where they're gonna put all the lanes. So some good heroes against this. You really like having escape heroes against Clock, like let's say Mirana, I was gonna say Mirana and Pod on the same hero, Quap, Storm, those kind of
Radiant
heroes.
team pick.
Also, Omni Knight is really good because you can repel people who are in the battery assault, and then you can just. Also, his ulti is very good versus the Lycan, but Doom is still in the pool. Find FlyToMoon right now. Thinking about Doom.
Yeah.
Thinking about that good old Doombringer right now.
Big
10
old
seconds
juicy,
remaining.
hey, I'm kind of tanky here, I'm just gonna press my ultimate on you, and then you can't do
5
anything.
seconds remaining.
Presumably some laugh that's much more evil than what I just brought out of my mouth there, but yeah, Omni Knights, a hero that, for that reason alone, that he can be counted out like that, it's something that I haven't really seen all that much, especially since he also has a hard time pressuring certain lane matchups and transitioning into some sort of damage dealing into later parts of the game. Like right now, Vega Squadron, they're very defensive. Like they have a bit of setup and scout and map control from the bounty hunter. And early on laning phase, that might be super useful. Just have an invis guy sitting right next to somebody for a purification bomb. But beyond that, I don't really see how they're gonna kill heroes or take towers just yet.
Yeah, right now, FlyToMoon have a really rounded lineup. They have a lot of catch. They have a lot of physical and magical damage. They have push. Whereas Vega Squadron, they have a lot of kiting potential, and they have a lot of sustain and healing. And then there's more. Okay, so it's looking like. Still don't know. It could be core anything basically right now. Even core Jakiro is not that bad because once you get levels and items, he can be extremely efficient in dealing, like I said, the magic damage, pushing more towers. But all likelihood, looks like you said the Clock offlane seems to be the case for right now.
Yeah.
What's the rebuttal here? I think you just pick your mid. Probably just pick a mid now. I think DP. It's a good DP game.
Yeah.
I don't think.
some
You-
good
you
physical
normally have-
damage. Lycan doesn't want to one at you. Windrunner still gets busted down by that despite the Windrun.
Radiant team banned.
Sven.
Stands ready.
That
Sven is very
hero-
strong against Lycan.
Yeah.
However, if Clock gets Blade Mail, can be very strong against him. He can just hook in on top of him. You're forced to run away. Wind Ranger is also very good against Sven. You can just kite him. But once he gets BKB, a lot of
10
this magic
seconds
damage will be neglected, and also he has the repel. So
5
if he does get
seconds
repelled in
remaining.
team fights, he's gonna lifesteal a lot. Problem is he gonna get kited? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll have to see these next two picks.
I'm trying to make sense of the Sven pick in my head, and like there's gotta be a reason that we don't see Sven every game or in any game for that matter. Like I don't think it's really been picked all that much in the pro scene in general in the last couple of weeks or
Red
months.
team ban.
And yeah, there's a number of issues in this game already, starting with the clockwork. Even when he has a BKB, you can still hookshot in, force stuff out of your own cogs, and that's just wasting a decent chunk of time for Sven to just get through that. Windrunner is pretty fast. Lycan in his ultimate form, you're not catching up with him. Jakiro is always an easy kill, but that's true in any Jakiro game,
10
really.
seconds remaining.
So, yeah, even with Repel, even with BKB, like
5 seconds
they're gonna have a hard
remaining.
time keeping him on target, I think, unless it's they can kill these heroes
Dire
very
team
quickly with a blink stun into some Echo Saber hits or something like that. But sustained team fights, they can heal through them, I guess. But Sven, I can.
Yeah, it would have been a really good Kunkka game. They should have picked Kunkka there and
yeah.
saved Sven last. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to pick the Sven there when the hero's not popular and nobody bans it, unless they like
10
ran it in
seconds
scrims or
remaining.
something. But Kunkka
5 seconds
counters
remaining.
Lycan pretty heavily at where you can just lock him down for that good 4 or 5 seconds with the torrent boat combination.
Radiant team pick.
Well,
Queen
Quap?
of pain.
that's the escape here talking about earlier that I could have saw.
Yeah.
Good hero to burst these heroes down. Good lane matchup in mid versus a lot of heroes.
Yeah. This Vega draft is so weird to me. I mean, it starts with Bounty Hunter, so it's pretty good on that hero. So yeah, thumbs up for
10
me. Witch
seconds
Doctor as well,
remaining.
powerful hero in general. And then Omni Knight Sven, and I'm like
5 seconds
question marks
remaining.
floating above my head. And then the Queen of Pain again, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Gives you some kill potential.
Haven't
Not
seen
too
this
much lockdown
combo
inside
in
of Flight
forever.
Simone and Clockwork Shadow Fiend, yeah. It still crops up every now and again. And yeah, SF. Up against Queen of Pain, not the most favorable matchup, but you can, like, if you brave through the first couple of levels, you can just raise the wave, go to the jungle, stack up a little bit, raise those, while the Queen of Pain is dealing with the creeps on the tower and basically basically ignore the Shadow Strike at that point.
Problem is there's a bounty hunter in this game, and I expect once Quap hits like 3, bounty hunters 2, normally you will start
10
seeing those
seconds
rotations into the
remaining.
mid lane around that 2-minute rune and stuff, where
5
Shadow Fiend might
seconds
die once or
remaining.
twice. So we'll have to see how this rotating bounty hunter affects the game, because if he's very effective, then Quap can snowball. Shadow Fiend can catch up, however. This hero does flash farm really well, even if he goes 0-3 in the early stage. Shadow Fiend versus Sven, though, it doesn't feel necessarily good for Shadow Fiend. I mean, if he gets blinked on, and he should die in like 3-4 right clicks. So I don't know.
It's actually Slayer on the Bounty Hunter. That's it's confusing me a little bit. Because like last time around they ran the Bounty Hunter, there was Zayats on it. And I can only ever remember him playing it, but I don't think I'm crazy with this, but well, I guess it's Slayer's turn instead. I'll have to try and put that somewhere. Try and put it to good use, as it were. But last time they ran it was in MDL. Gotta mute them though if they keep doing that. All of them. Stupid voice lines.
What? They're so fun. Smiley face.
They're fun enough, but when they just post them twice in a row, like, ugh. Especially this DLR one, it's like, what? It's too much for me to handle. But yeah, anyway, guys, if you're just tuning in, or if you're watching in game, we have been able to enable the open mic, the voice. Yeah, it was a workaround. It's still kind of broken, but I think we should be good for the time being.
30 seconds to
So
battle.
shout out to I think Baseskip found it out first, and Noxel spread it around. So shout out to these guys.
Spreading all the diseases. I mean, helpful tools.
Helpful production tips, not diseases. That's very different things, Ryuu.
What?
Very different things.
Oh.
But yeah, FlyToMoon, again, they're up 2-1 already. Vega Squadron 0-3, so this game is really starting to count for them. They're going to be up against the Shadow Fiend, starting off with 12 souls. So in that sense, he's going to have a decent enough start in his middle lane. I already see a lot of damage being exchanged here between Slayer and No Fear, as they are trying to make these plays for the bounty rune, but No Fear still able to slip that one away. And overall, that means that Vega only got the 1, FlyToMoon got 3. Easy money, as they say. Right, so
They know where the bounty hunter is mid already, but we'll see how this mid lane goes. I'm curious to see who, with all these souls at the beginning of the game, who's going to come out ahead.
it's been so long since we've seen this bounty hunter in the meta, and or just 4 positions in general doing these kind of roaming things. We still have this duel offlane with Syed joining up with Palantimos, which for now they're holding their own just because of that first point up in Voodoo Restoration. This is where we're at right now. It's up top, and they realize they need a little bit more help somewhere else, so No Fear coming in and just straight up going to annoy the Queen of Pain. Not needed up top really. I mean, Congrada should be... the Clockwork should be able to trade well enough with the Omni Knight, right? Still the CS one.
Yeah, you can harass him, you can force him to get repel, which he didn't get, so now he's going to take a lot of damage. But it's fine. They're just going to bully each other out of here. Curious to see if this courier dies in the mid lane.
Well, FlyToMoon, they've not forgotten how to play against the bounty hunter though. As long as you don't exactly know where he's at, you keep your courier on the tower, and that's exactly what they're doing. But this is a dire side sentry, confirming that there's no vision for FlyToMoon. So Slayer can stick around, harass Ice back out a little bit. This is old school. This is oh my god, what?
Dire's current
No fear whatsoever. Diving in a tower, he'll give his life for it. Didn't
Almost
get the
denied.
courier before he's delivered the item, but
That's a mistake. You don't want to do that when a Wind Ranger's in your lane.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I forgot about that. Whoops.
She doesn't actually care about the tower as much. Western pepperonis, little donkey guy. What was that? She cancelled the TP as well. No fear. It's a bit flustered still after that win. Regardless, forgot what I was going to say. Stun down bottom. Gonna go on silent here. Cast and bouncing neatly enough, but they should still have enough damage. And Stick Charges, not enough. Another successful rotation there from Slayer.
So far, good rotations from Vega around the map. Putting a lot of pressure on. Their laning phase is exceptional. They realized the lanes that they could put and put a lot of pressure on. Like this Lycan, he just kind of wants to free farm, but when you have this Witch Doctor just babysitting you with this heal, I mean, it doesn't... This thing could be in any lane. It's kind of like that Warlock aspect. Should he put on... Yeah, there's... Yeah. Mid lane, courier usage, getting that bottle in for the mid lane. Oh, it should be a dead Shadow Fiend. Oh,
Should have really. That raise enough to zone him out, but Unshock blinking in. Go back to right clicks. Shadow Strike still going. Nice little power shot. He's raising once. Fairy Fire was enough. And a couple of extra health points, and Slayer might still end up dropping. Does have another invis in the second. No fear, out of mana for another power shot, so he should be fine. But only just.
Radiant are
This way we like to have a mango. You mango, you power shot, you feel really good, but it's
Radiant's
not the
top
case
tower
here.
is under attack.
Oh, what? Bottom lane, Jakiro goes down. Silence, still trying to fight here, but the heals are doing the thing to keep both Zayats and Pantimos alive. So this offlane going well enough for Vega Squadron, even though you're not really able to keep Silent away from as many CS as Pantimos has. At the same time up top, we do see Blizzy just getting ahead of the Clockwork. Still getting his levels though, which is the main issue.
Yeah, Vega set up all their lanes to do really well and succeed. It's pretty big advantage for their laning phase here. 5-minute runes, who's getting them? 1 for each team.
2-for-2 trade on all sides, I think. There's the cask, but they do separate. They're a little bit too far forward though. Always want to fly again. Just I always like to call him always want to die. Because sometimes he has these derpy deaths, most of the time though, the deaths that he has are always just more space creation deaths than anything.
Yeah, you can afford to feed every once in a while. As a 5 position, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Not true though for Iceberg in mid. Slayer going on them again, Unshock. If he wants to be aggro, we can certainly blink in as it stands. Slayer just gets killed. Triple raised, and that was the long and short of it. Undershock was not on the same page there.
Oh, that's a level 6 Shadow Fiend now, compared to a level 4 Queen of Pain. In a matchup that should be heavily favored. Unfortunately, he got those souls at the beginning of the game, so the matchup's not even close to even. 13 to 38.
Yeah. I mean, even if you subtract the Swalty Knights that he's got from Cogs, there's still a ludicrous degree of experience denied from the Queen of Pain, and it really shows in the levels, as you mentioned. Almost level 5 on Undershock, but now he gets intercepted by Silent. Blinks in, going for the easy kill first. Almost want to fly. 4 heals against him. He will fall, but Undershock, he got quite a few spells on top of him. The Wolf still chasing in Clockwork. Also wants to be part of the party. Non grata. Didn't even get that kill. It was still the Wolves finishing him off, but that was not a worthwhile rotation there for Queen of Pain. Not by a long shot.
Sometimes you just have to get out of your lane, though. As the co-op in this game, it's
take a vacation.
Unbearable. There's just nothing he can really do. So this is going to be the biggest disparity in this game.
Yep.
This mid lane. Shadow Fiend kind of has to carry this game, and so far they set him up to do that right now.
Yeah. Despite the bounty hunter pressure coming in, trying to snipe Curse, not really being successful. Now they bring in Zayats to Iceberg up against 3 heroes. Does have a little bit of help from Power Shot here. Another race, they get 1 kill, they will get 2. Zayats will drop, and well, the stealth not enough to another Scream of Pain, but the Shackle, the tower shots, Undershock does not have another leg, he's dead too. They did lose Jakiro at the same time up top, but well, that's Jakiro's used to that. It doesn't really matter all that much compared to this disaster in the mid lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I've seen
one of
kills
those situations where you really wish you had Malediction level 2 nowadays. Where, sure, Malediction got nerfed a heavy amount, but you just don't have enough burst damage on the side of Vega for these dives.
It just backfires so hard. Like, you commit so many resources to try and slow the Shadow Fiend down. Yeah, you get the kill, but not before feeding him a couple of more kills. It's not helpful at all. At least I can still feed on Jakiro, one would think. He's about to get his level 4 up top. Just doing the go roll offlane thing. Non-Grata showing himself. He'll provide a target for the cast to bounce to a little bit. Doesn't mean the sides will be safe for now, but hookshot lands regardless. Which also seals his fate. Now Lycan with his own ultimate. Running in very, very fast, and oh, Dark Troll Dominator leading the charge. Gets the same movement speed. They're gonna go on Pantalimos. Does have a stun to work with, only catching Clockwork. Who still has the battery assault going. Windrunner dies. Alright, no fear. You're being muted right now. This is enough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, fight up top. Keeps going here. Slayer showed himself for a second or two. They will not be denied this tower. They have Lycan. They have 2 points up in liquid fire, so the trades are not really happening. Nothia already back alive and ready to push out bottom. Sheriff Fiend is still camped out in mid. Alright, they keep getting Jakiro. He's like the only thing that's it's almost like a bait, you know? It's like, hey, yeah, go Jakiro, go make them feel better by feeding a couple of times. Make them think that they're not as far behind as they actually are. That's what it feels like.
When you have half your deaths in 10 minutes, that's and they're so high, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Alright, so try and play Vegas at
Who gets it?
seen this before, and Slayer this time comes out ahead. Seems good. Need like a soundboard or something like that with just like some fighting game sounds, like fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this time it says click, click.
Yeah. Click, click, and then the winner! That needs to happen. It's a Moondog tournament. They'd lap that up immediately. Anyway, Ryuu, please play Vegas Advocate for me here now. What is the bright side? Is there a bright side for them here?
Sven's free farming.
Dire's middle tower is under
2, 1, and 2. Has a pretty decent game so far. If he dies here, though, it's gonna hurt him.
This is on Grada, Celestia Hookshot available. Already got the ultimate out. Has to fight against 3 different heroes without support. It was on the way, but just a little bit too slow with the smoke rotation. Maybe they can make a turnaround happen here. Sonic Wave Shredder coming in. So do get the clockwork. Silent though with the ultimate going. Should just be able to walk away. Just sending the Jakiro forward as the bait once again. But that is a track kill. Bounty Hunter level 6 means that this kind of strategy is going to cost you more and more going forward.
It's okay, Omni Knight's gonna carry this game. Omni theoretically could go for a Radiance build if he really wants to. Like Drums Radiance or something. Could be really nice. Then they could have potentially like 3 cores. Quappa's super scary late game. If she starts getting levels, her level 20 and 25 talent are pretty broken, to be honest.
Yep. Well. Gotta get there first. At the very least, Sven has some good inbuilt farming tool, and Silent. I was thinking about it. Right. Even with Sven being able to farm, I almost feel like Blizzy has no choice but to go for some sort of semi-core build with the Radiance. Just because they need him to offset the fact that they've all been kind of low. Sven needs some more time, and Queen of Pain, as good as she is, she can't really solo carry the mid game, as it were. Cooldowns are just too long for that. FlyToMoon, they're also not slowing down as much as Vega might like. Holding on to the hookshot, don't even need it, no fear. Finds Shackle, couple of right clicks, and we'll be able to finish up that kill. Blizzy still finishing that TP. The rest of this team actually sitting around. Slayer sees rotation here from Iceberg as well as Silent, but Palantimos, she in a bit of trouble, so trying to run him down instead. Meanwhile, Blizzy gonna be taken care of by the rest of these supports. This is Vega just running on 2 fronts. And only being successful on 1. Ultimate committed there from Silence, so they're not willing to use that to run the Sven down. Just feeling very confident and just running him away out of the general area, making him farm somewhere else. Because they know that it's still going to be a while until he's going to be super impactful, regardless of his farming speed right now.
Yeah, he just took like a 3 stack, I think. It might have been only 2, but he used his God Strength, he used everything to farm the big ancient camp, so he couldn't really help with the fight there. And Witch Sector died early, then Omni Knight was chased down, so they lose. That's the worst part about losing that tower, because you lose 1, then you lose 2, because their pushing lineup is extremely scary. They're even going high ground right now.
Enter the Lycanthrope. Helm of Dominator, Necrovoke on level 1, but they're gonna go higher ground. This tower is already not healthy at all. The ultimate use just to try and slow them down or force them away. Now a bit of a turnaround perhaps with Blizzy throwing out his own ultimate, but again, Palantimos, he cannot fight, he does not have mana to actually use his ultimate even if he wanted to. And Nagrada hookshotting in, gets a bit of covering fire, will still drop his own life, but space created. Look at this Rax, we're not even 15 minutes in. FlyToMoon have claimed not just the melee, but a full set of Rax.
No
This
fear,
is high-speed Dota if I've ever seen one.
Fiona again, you missed it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he's freaking muted. I think it works. Maybe I just...
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
I just told you.
Okay. I still have no fear in my chat log. That might just be from before.
Well, this is the problem when you pick this greedy Sven who needs a long time to come alive, and then Quap being dominated early, giving Shadow Fiend a really nice timing.
Slayer will be himself silent with the wolves, tanking up the cast, yeah. Still taking a lot of damage, but no melting damage on top of them. They have to commit everything, and they do.
Oh, the mid-eye almost.
That is only 245 gold, really? How's that not more money for Undershock? I guess overall it's about 1,000 gold change, all things considered, just with the track and everything.
Hey man, killing people in Dota doesn't matter anymore.
I guess, unless it's a big killing spree with Slayer. Ramgrade sees him just not even using the hookshot, just running him down way too fast, and this is a very free kill. FlyToMoon is so on top of it right now. Iceberg pushing mid all alone, no fear. Somewhere else, but he also has it, you know. You know what I mean? Get it? Because he has no fear in mid, but they also have no fear on the team.
You're so smart. I wish I could be like you.
Right? You're not smart. I had to explain the joke to you like for a whole minute.
No, I like I like watching people suffer.
Yeah.
Explaining jokes. Because sometimes I have to explain jokes, and then I just...
Yeah.
It's fun watching people suffer.
I
like watching you suffer.
It's always nice though, like to explain jokes so you and your friends can laugh about them together. It's so nice. Right?
Oh, laugh at you together? Yeah. I did that.
Well, that's the last out of the tower gun. And Vega Squadron, like... I said leading into this, they really need this win, but right now, looks like they're gonna have a hard time getting anywhere near it right now.
I'm not sure what they can really do in this situation. It's just they're completely outclassed. Their lineups didn't work out. They didn't get the kills they needed to on Shadow Fiend early, and he snowballed too much. Although Quap is second in net worth, so it's not necessarily her fault. It's just the cogs helped, and they weren't able to get a courier snipe. That's normally what you want for Bounty Hunter, is to get a lot of courier snipes in this game. But unfortunately, he hasn't gotten any.
He just gotten the one.
Or just
on the way back from Roche Pit, so that was the first courier snipe from Slayer.
I anti-jinxed them, which is what they needed, but unfortunately it came at 17 or 18 minutes.
You anti-jinxed him after he's already done it. I mean, you can't... You messed up, man. Face it. You can't talk your way out of that one.
No, but still, it doesn't matter because it's already a Rax missing.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Vega Squadron, their lineup, for all the merits it can have, they need more time. They need a lot more time to really establish that. They're not equipped to deal with a 5-man lineup that hits a high ground at 15 minutes. It's just not happening. Even with the Queen of Pain with that kind of net worth, she went for the Orchid, which is great for pickoffs. Bounty Hunter, great for pickoffs. But you have very little in terms of teamfight burst or teamfight control, which is what they need a lot of right now. Yeah, if they have a Warlock, yeah, you link them together, you Queen of Pain ults, you win the fight, maybe.
Oh, the Shackle!
As it stands, well, that's... Shackle coming in, locking him down on the shock. Look at these right clicks. Stick shots keep him alive for now as buybacks come out from both sides. Another stun. Palantimos trying to do what he can, but That's not a whole lot, as it turns out. Almost got on Grada, but almost is not enough. Iceberg just cleaving them down. An ultra kill for our shadow friend. And, well, I wasn't hoping it would come to this, and I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but FlyToMoon. They're just on a different level right now. Vega Squadron, they cannot compete.
Well, you're gonna have to force buybacks, gonna have to use everything you can. Yeah. One last fight here.
Subtle sprint from Lizzie. Drums being copped here, running in, but wait to control them up. Does have Slayer with them, but meanwhile in the back. Alright, that's a big kill if he can get it.
But it's an Aegis.
But it's only an Aegis. You've used, yeah. You stun, you've used Witch Doctor ultimate. Now Palantimos. It's out of armor even. Is that a cooldown? Ultimate comes back in a couple of seconds. So you can hit hard if you can get close to somebody. But doing all of that relentless building damage from FlyToMoon. 2 full sets of racks and they're not stopping. They have no reason to. They're all full health mostly. Close to full mana. Like,
here comes the hook shot into Ice Path into double shackle.
Just let up straight up land the Ice Path on the Shock, needs to blink out. Palantimos, big ultimate going on like him. They also got the Necroreaves inside the Macropyre. He gets bursted down immediately. Does a buyback to work with, but no God Strength. Lizzie, right click down, 1 by 1. Triple kill for Iceberg. Making another Ultra. Doesn't look like he can. Last 2 remaining are hiding inside the base. Vega Squadron, not calling it just yet. They want at least 1 more kill, perhaps on Crowder, but he's pretty tanky at this point.
Vega, they just need to. They need to ask Valve or the organizers to just let them take a day's break, come back tomorrow. Yeah. Unfortunately, this whole thing is done in 1 day, so.
For them, it would be. I mean, they have 1 more game today, so they play 5 of their 7. Oh no, wait. 4 of their 6 games they play today. Oh wait, did they play? I gotta double check so I don't talk crap.
Yeah, I don't know how many they have today.
Alright,
but
they have 1 more game later today, and 2 more games tomorrow. That's it.
But essentially,
yeah, they have 7 games. Of course, 8 teams in a group. You have 7 games, so 5 today, 2 tomorrow.
They need to at least finish 3 and 4. If they don't finish 3 and 4, that means they're going to be out of the tournament. Yeah. They need at least 1 more win today to keep their hopes alive. So, and then they have to win the other 2 tomorrow. A 3 and 4 record means you'll be on the very cusp. And if a lot of other teams are 3 and 4, then you potentially have hope. But it's not looking good for them. Their picks today, we've casted 2 of their games. I haven't really enjoyed their picks. The last pick, Venge, the other game wasn't that good, and this time, Finn. We see how the hero is punished. I mean, he needs BKB. He needs time to get online. And this push strategy just completely owned them. They didn't, like Vega, they did okay in the lanes, in their side lanes, but the problem was mid. Like, Quap got crushed. Shadow Fiend was out of control. Clock got levels because he was in the off lane, so he could easily rotate to the bottom lane, get a lot of kills. There was nowhere for Sven to feel safe on the map to farm, and he just couldn't get anything done in this game. They couldn't protect him at all. So, nice win there from FlyToMoon.
All right, yeah. I mean, whatever idea they had, and they must have had an idea of how this draft would work, but it's, as I said, not really convincing us from our end. Hasn't been successful whatsoever against this push strat for sure, which does mean that they have 1 more game today against Espada. If they lose that, they're out. But I'm pretty sure of any matchup in this group, that's one that they should have a decent shot at. But then tomorrow, their games are not going to be easy. They playing Team Spirit and Gambit, who've also been looking decently well. I mean, who'd they beat? They beat Team Empire, as well as Double Dimensions, so they're also forced to be reckoned with. Tough road for Vega Squadron, but we'll see what they can do. For us right now, gonna take a really short break, but then we're gonna see Double Dimension and Team Spirit in action. That'll be our last matchup, so stay tuned for that.